AskReddit buys new gadgets 1844. Millennials, what do you think we're gonna see in our lifetime? Another once-in-a-lifetime recession. Another 3-4 of them, probably. Breakthrough treatments for dementia, Alzheimer's. I sure hope so. Genetically it's a guarantee for me in 40-ish years. Here's to hoping there's a treatment for it before then. Edit. Well, I never get this many replies or likes on a post. Funny enough, I've made my peace with it. I've had a series of concussions as an adult, which increases risk, but also work a mentally stimulating job, which reduces risk. So who knows? Retirement age set to 80. I've been automating work for the last 20+ years to prevent that, and I'm infuriated that people still work 5 days for 8 hours a day. People should be working 4 days a week and 6 hours days by now. The only reason that doesn't happen is pure corporate greed and corrupt politics. Imo, people should revolt when politicians try to raise the retirement age. Halley's Comet. Fingers crossed. I'll be 72 when it comes back around. I was a kid when Hale Bopp gave us a fantastic show, and I hope Halley will give me the same chills on my spine. Cancer becomes a managed chronic disease. Look at you with your positive outlook. Elder Scrolls VI. Wow, the one optimist in the thread. Resource wars. Fights over TP and water. A new generation complaining about how we ruined everything for them somehow, while simultaneously having it so much easier than we did. Sadly, I think American millennials will see our government deteriorate to a place that we would never have imagined it getting to. Hopefully, once our ruling dinosaurs finally die, younger people can get in positions of power to change things. Psychedelic therapy centers. Edited to yes, where they exist but not in every state. I'd love to see them in every city, in every state, and yes, make them affordable. Mushrooms can be grown at home with legally purchased spores for cheap and have proven more effective X1000 for my PTSD than any pill I've ever taken. Fingers crossed. We've only begun to scratch the surface of the potential benefits of therapy with MDMA, MDA, ketamine, or LSD. I think we'll see a lot more climate-related fallout with droughts, severe storm patterns, and ultimately more uninhabitable places. My wife is from the Pacific Northwest, and within a year of being married, a fire hit the place where she grew up and where her parents still lived. I had been there many times. It was scary enough watching it unfold from afar. And the thought occurred to me that if it got bad enough and their house burned down, they'd have to come live with us. And that's the first time I realized that they would qualify as climate refugees. We're definitely already at the point where that's happening. A lot of cool shit followed by a bunch of bullshit, or vice versa. Mass destabilization of resources and infrastructure, from war, climate catastrophes, and resource limitations. Increased frequency of biological catastrophes, pandemics, crops, and livestock deaths by diseases. This is why I don't like thinking about the future. A fish with brain implants that can communicate intellectually using binary on a couple of aquarium stickers with 0 and 1 on them. They won't have much to say, if anything. Y'all are bumming me out. You aren't wrong. It just really bums me out. Dude, for real. I was like, oh, this thread is gonna be full of super cool stuff that gives me goosebumps to think about. JFC, was I wrong? So little optimism. Bumming me out. I'm on the cusp but hoping for a 32-hour work week. For the first time in my life, I work for a company where I feel like that's not wildly outside the realm of what they'd actually do to make us all enjoy working there a little more, and it's mind-boggling. Severe famine and overpopulation in northern countries caused by people fleeing uninhabitable conditions in the south. As the planet warms, those colder regions are going to be prime real estate for expansion. Can't wait for the war over land in Antarctica or northern Canada. I think it would be cool to see people go to Mars. This will hopefully be something that happens. Another one I hope for is space travel tourism, like trips to a tourist space station or to the moon. I'd die happy being able to see the Earth in its entirety and having that experience. Keith Richards having his 150th birthday. Sadly, the death of a lot of our childhood actors and heroes. A lot of us will probably see the 7th of April 2076, the 300th birthday of the United States, unless we are no longer a nation by then. I hope I see our 300th. I'll be 110 for it, so one of you millennials will likely have to tell me what's going on. Scotland here, legalized weed for recreational use. Visit Germany in 2 days. I don't care what I see. I want to break the cycle of selfishness I see in the last generation and make sure my little one sees a better future. I want her to see coral reefs. To have wildlife around her home. I want her to have a career she wants, not selling her soul to make ends meet. I want her to see her fellow man as equals rather than someone trying to take from her. Be they impoverished, migrant or down on their luck. I want her to see countries working together. So I guess what I really want to see is the death of the selfish generations. We are the midwives of a new world and the slayers of the old. Halley's Comet in 2061. The death of multiple island nations due to climate change. UNCHR designation of climate refugees. A generation of film directors inspired by Dune by Denis Villeneuve. A second republic of the United States of America. Netherlands winning the FIFA World Cup. France winning the Rugby World Cup. I think the most unlikely of those is Netherlands winning the cup. Even if we see 100, it's only at most 25 times in life. Hopefully it happens, but I think they're cursed. Can it just be chill for the next 40-50 years? Haven't we lived through enough? Or good things? I'd be good with good things. No, because the world is literally run by sociopaths. We get to find out if we're at the end of the human tale, or at the beginning. If ever there will be a time when humanity wakes the FK up and stops fighting and starts cooperating, it's now, because there is no other way out of this predicament. I think humans are extremely resilient and will continue to live, but what that will look like will be very different from our own existence.